The average American is now deeper in car debt than ever before. But there's a specific group making it 10 times worse: the ones buying these 7 SUVs. According to the 2026 reliability reports from Consumer Reports and J.D. Power, these 7 models aren't just bad cars. If you buy one of these today, you are effectively burning cash. Let's start with the one that literally might catch fire in your garage. Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. This isn't just a reliability problem. This is a safety problem. The 2025 and 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe have been hit with massive recalls tied to internal failures in the high-voltage battery pack. Failures that can cause the vehicle to catch fire even when it's parked and turned off. That's right. You pull it into the garage, go to bed, and your $60,000 SUV could become a liability that takes your house down with it. Dealerships are still pushing these on lots right now, and buyers have no idea. Beyond the fire risk, the 2.0-liter turbocharged engine in these 4xe models has been documented to contain metallic debris left over from the manufacturing process. We're talking about metal shavings circulating through your engine. Mechanics call it catastrophic engine failure, waiting to happen. You won't see this on the window sticker at the dealership. You won't hear it from the finance guy trying to get you into a 72-month loan. But the repair bill? That's going to be very real. Engine replacement costs that can hit $8,000 to $12,000 out of pocket after your warranty conveniently runs out. And if that wasn't enough, there's the propulsion software issue. Owners have reported sudden, complete loss of drive power at highway speeds. Not a warning, not a gradual slowdown. 1 second you're doing 70 miles per hour on the interstate with your family in the car. The next second, nothing. No throttle response. The system just quits. This is a car with a starting MSRP north of $58,000 behaving like a prototype that never should have left the engineering lab. Stellantis knows about it. The NHTSA knows about it. Your salesperson? He's just trying to close the deal before the end of the month. Here's the cold, hard truth. The Grand Cherokee 4xe was built to capture the hybrid market and hit ESG checkboxes, not to actually serve the families buying it. If you're underwater on the loan inside of 18 months because your hybrid SUV needed a battery pack replacement that insurance won't fully cover, don't say nobody warned you. The fire risk alone should disqualify this vehicle. The mechanical debris issue seals it. This is not a car. This is an expensive gamble dressed up in premium trim levels. Dodge Hornet. If Jeep is the worst offender in the Stellantis family tree, the Dodge Hornet is the embarrassing little cousin nobody wants to talk about. Multiple automotive outlets, including AutoGuide, have listed the Hornet as one of the worst SUVs of 2026. And when you look at what owners are actually reporting, it's not hard to understand why. This is a vehicle sold on the promise of sporty style and value, and it delivers neither. What it does deliver is a reliability nightmare that starts before you've even put 4,000 miles on the odometer. Let's talk about the electrical gremlins, and I mean that literally. Owners are reporting dashboards that light up like a Christmas tree within the first few months of ownership. Check engine light, power steering warning, collision sensor failure, forward emergency braking alerts that trigger randomly. All of this happening on a brand new vehicle. One owner on a Dodge forum described watching 6 warning lights activate simultaneously while sitting at a red light. That's not a quirk. That's a fundamental failure of quality control that Dodge has not addressed. Then there's the 12-volt battery drain issue, which is arguably the most embarrassing problem on a modern vehicle. The Hornet software has a known bug that causes the auxiliary battery to drain completely, leaving owners stranded. And before you say at least it's covered under warranty, yes, until it isn't. Until you're on a road trip 200 miles from the nearest dealership with a dead car and a rental bill that Dodge doesn't care about. The 360-degree camera, one of the features Dodge markets heavily, has been reported to deactivate mid-maneuver, during parallel parking, during tight garage entries. The camera you paid for just disappears from the screen. Here is the bottom line. You pay a Dodge MSRP, and the Hornet GT Plus pushes close to $35,000, and you get the reliability of a rushed, half-finished prototype. The Hornet is essentially a rebadged Alfa Romeo Tonale, built on a platform that was never fully sorted out for the American market. If you're shopping in this price range, there are Japanese alternatives that will give you 150,000 miles of near-zero drama. The Hornet will give you drama starting at 3,800 miles. Do the math. Land Rover Discovery. Let's be honest, the Land Rover Discovery has always been aspirational. People buy it because they want to look like they've made it. The British heritage, the off-road credibility, the upscale badge. And dealerships love it for exactly that reason. Because the emotional buy is easy to close. What they don't put on the window sticker is the financial destruction that starts the second you drive it off the lot. We're not talking about minor depreciation. We're talking about losing more than $27,000 in value within the first 3 years of ownership. That's one Honda Civic. Gone. Every 1,000 days you own this thing. The depreciation alone should end the conversation. But let's keep going because it gets worse. Maintenance costs on the Discovery run 3 times higher than a comparable American or Japanese SUV. A basic oil service at a Land Rover specialist isn't a $70 trip. It's $200 to $300. Brake jobs, fluid flushes, software updates, all of it is priced for someone with a trust fund, not the average American buyer who financed this thing at 7.5% interest for 6 years. And then there's the AIR suspension. The Discovery's air suspension is notorious for collapsing right after the factory warranty expires. And when it does, you're looking at a $3,000 to $5,000 repair that Land Rover will no longer cover. Let me give you a real-world scenario. You buy a 2023 Land Rover Discovery for $68,000. You finance it. 3 years later, your trade-in value is somewhere around $38,000, and that's if you're lucky and the market holds. You've already spent several thousand in premium maintenance. Your loan balance is still north of $45,000. You are now underwater on the loan, trapped in a vehicle that costs a fortune to operate and continues losing value faster than almost anything else in its segment. This is not a car purchase. This is a recurring financial penalty disguised as a status symbol. Here is the verdict. The Land Rover Discovery is the favorite car of people who want to look wealthy and end up actually becoming poor. The badge is real. The off-road capability is real. The financial pain? Also very, very real. If your goal is to build wealth, a Discovery in your driveway is working against you every single day. The dealerships know this. The Land Rover brand knows this. They count on buyers making emotional decisions. Don't be that buyer. Volkswagen Taos. The Volkswagen Taos looks like a safe, sensible buy. Reasonable price point, German engineering reputation, solid resale expectations. It's the kind of car a smart, budget-conscious buyer thinks they're getting. And that's exactly why it's on this list, because the problems hiding inside the Taos are the kind that don't show up on a test drive, but show up brutally on a repair bill. Consumer Reports has flagged the Taos as one of the least reliable compact SUVs on the market. And when you dig into the specifics, you understand why mechanics have started calling it the pink surprise. The head gasket issue on the Taos is documented and widespread. What happens is a coolant leak that seeps into areas of the engine where it shouldn't be, and as it burns off and oxidizes, it leaves a crusty pink residue on the engine block and surrounding components. Mechanics call it pink crust, and when they see it, they know immediately what they're dealing with. A head gasket failure on a Taos isn't catastrophic in the way a blown engine is. It's worse in some ways, because it's a slow, expensive leak that quietly destroys your engine over time. Repairs range from $1,500 to $2,800 on a car that sold you on German reliability. Then there's the CAN bus network failures. The CAN bus is the communication system that connects all the computers in your car. When it malfunctions on the Taos, and it does, the results are bizarre and unsettling. Windows that roll down on their own. The infotainment system rebooting mid-navigation while you're trying to follow GPS directions on an unfamiliar highway. Instrument cluster readings that freeze or go blank. Volkswagen has issued software updates, but the underlying hardware architecture on these early Taos models remains a problem that patches don't fully solve. And let's talk about the DSG transmission on AWD models, because this is the one that genuinely creates dangerous situations. American drivers need confident, predictable throttle response when pulling into fast-moving traffic on a boulevard or merging onto a highway on-ramp. The Taos AWD DSG has a documented hesitation problem at low speeds and in stop-and-go transitions. That split second where the transmission can't decide what gear it wants, that's the gap where accidents happen. This is not a quirk you adapt to. This is an engineering failure on a vehicle that should not have left the factory this way. Chevrolet Blazer EV. General Motors told America the Blazer EV was the future. Modern, sleek, American-made, affordable electric performance. And then reality showed up. The Blazer EV launch has been one of the most embarrassing product rollouts in recent GM history, and that's saying something. We're talking about a vehicle that had to be pulled from dealerships due to software failures so severe that GM couldn't deliver functional cars to paying customers. If you bought one of these, understand what you actually paid for. You paid full MSRP to be a beta tester for a product that wasn't ready. The screen blackout issue is the most visible symptom of a deeper software problem. Owners report that the center display, the primary control interface for climate, speed readout, navigation, and vehicle settings, goes completely black while driving. No warning, no restart option, just a dead screen in a car where almost every function routes through that screen. Imagine driving at night in an unfamiliar city and losing your navigation, your climate controls, and your vehicle speed display simultaneously. That's not a minor glitch. That's a car that is not ready for public roads. Then there's the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto situation. And this one genuinely enraged American buyers. GM made the deliberate decision to remove CarPlay and Android Auto from the Blazer EV and force users onto their proprietary Ultify infotainment system. A system that crashes, a system that lags, a system that cannot do what a $14 per month phone subscription already does perfectly. Taking that away and replacing it with an inferior in-house system is not an upgrade. It's a downgrade that GM tried to spin as innovation. The backlash has been enormous and well documented. And finally, the parking brake recall. A wiring defect in the electronic parking brake mechanism has been documented to either lock the vehicle unexpectedly or fail to engage properly. Either scenario is dangerous. Either scenario is unacceptable on a $50,000 plus vehicle. The cold hard truth about the Blazer EV is this: it is not a finished product. It is a product rushed to market to hit EV sales targets before the engineering and software teams were ready. You are not a customer if you buy this car right now. You are a paid tester. And unlike actual beta testers, you don't get compensated for the inconvenience. You just get the bill. Nissan Rogue. Nissan tried to be too clever. The VC turbo engine inside the Rogue is a 3-cylinder unit that physically changes its compression ratio while you drive, a concept that sounds impressive in a boardroom presentation and falls apart in the real world. The NHTSA has already opened an official investigation into these engines due to reports of catastrophic failures, and owners across the country are learning the hard way what happens when an automaker rushes an experimental powertrain into a mass-market family SUV. Let's be honest, this engine is a solution looking for a problem that didn't exist. The conventional turbocharged engines from Toyota, Honda, and Mazda were already doing the job reliably. Nissan decided to reinvent the wheel, and the wheel is coming off. The mechanical consequences are severe. There are growing reports of engine seizure and major internal component failure on VC turbo Rogues, caused by metallic debris circulating through the oil and destroying the main bearings. The engine doesn't slowly degrade, it locks up. Owners report complete loss of power on highways with zero warning. If this happens inside your warranty window, you're dealing with weeks without a car and a dealership that may or may not have the parts to fix it. If it happens after your warranty expires, and with this engine it often does, you're staring at a $9,000 to $12,000 engine replacement bill on a vehicle that was marketed to you as an affordable, fuel-efficient family crossover. And on top of that, a significant number of Rogue owners in the US are reporting a strong gasoline smell invading the cabin during normal driving, a direct result of a poorly designed crankcase ventilation system. Imagine driving your kids to school while they breathe raw fuel vapors because Nissan rushed a prototype engine to the mass market. That's not acceptable from a $32,000 vehicle. That's not acceptable from any vehicle. And here's the final insult. Even if yours never breaks down, the Rogue is the undisputed king of rental fleets. Walk into any Enterprise or Hertz location in America, and there's a Rogue waiting for you. That means the used car market is permanently flooded with high-mileage, fleet-abused Rogues competing directly with yours the moment you try to sell it. You are buying a mass-produced appliance that loses value faster than a smartphone. The trade-in value is weak, the private sale market is saturated, and the depreciation is relentless. The VC turbo engine was supposed to be Nissan's technological crown jewel. Instead, it became the most expensive science experiment that Rogue owners never agreed to fund. Infiniti QX880, the worst offender on this entire list when you look at the total financial picture. The Infiniti QX80 is a massive, imposing, premium SUV designed to compete with the Cadillac Escalade and Lincoln Navigator in the full-size luxury segment. It has presence, it has a bold interior, it has a price tag that demands respect. What it also has is a depreciation curve so brutal that financial analysts have used it as a textbook example of value destruction. In 5 years, the average QX80 owner loses approximately $45,000 in value, nearly 60% of the original purchase price. Gone. Evaporated. Let's put that in terms any American can feel. You buy a 2026 Infiniti QX80 at its MSRP of around $77,000. 5 years from now, normal mileage, normal condition. You try to sell or trade it and discover it's worth somewhere between $28,000 and $33,000. Meanwhile, you've been making payments on $77,000. You've been paying full-size SUV fuel costs because the QX80 returns fuel economy numbers that belong in a different era. In a country where gasoline prices are volatile and every dollar at the pump matters, a vehicle that consistently struggles to hit 15 to 17 miles per gallon in real-world mixed driving is a financial punishment you inflict on yourself every single week. The 2025 and 2026 model updates were supposed to modernize the QX80 and bring it into the current decade. What buyers are actually experiencing tells a different story. The new retractable door handles, a design choice meant to signal premium sophistication, have been reported to produce loud mechanical groaning and clicking sounds during normal operation on a nearly $80,000 vehicle. The pneumatic suspension, tuned to deliver a comfortable highway ride, has drawn consistent complaints for being too firm and unforgiving on imperfect road surfaces. Exactly the kind of surfaces that represent about 70% of American roads outside major metro corridors. And the updated infotainment system carries lag and glitches that feel completely out of place at this price point. Here is the complete picture. The QX80 is a Nissan Armada in a tailored suit. The mechanical underpinning, the powertrain philosophy, the underlying platform. It all traces back to Nissan's truck architecture. You are paying a luxury premium for a vehicle that the used car market has already judged harshly. Nobody wants a used QX80 at full price, which is exactly why the depreciation is so catastrophic. If you buy this vehicle today, you are not investing in transportation. You are lighting $45,000 on fire over the next 5 years and paying for the privilege of filling a tank that drinks fuel twice a week. There is no version of this math that makes sense for anyone who takes their personal finances seriously. I researched all of this so you don't have to learn it the expensive way. If this video just saved your bank account or kept you from a decision you were about to regret, the least you can do is hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps this channel keep bringing you the truth that dealerships don't want you to hear. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these did you actually think was a solid buy before watching this? Drop it in the comments below. And the next video is already on your screen right now. See you there.